Ever wondered what foods are free from bioengineered ingredients, glyphosate, high fructose corn syrup, and MSG? Well, you're not alone. In a world where our grocery shelves are filled with foods that have ingredient labels longer than a novel, it's become increasingly important to understand what we're putting into our bodies. We're going to delve into this topic, peeling back the layers on these common yet mysterious ingredients. Bioengineered ingredients, glyphosate, high fructose corn syrup, and MSG. They're words we often see but may not fully understand. What are they exactly? Why are they in our food? And most importantly, are they harmful? These are the questions we'll be answering today. Our journey will take us from the lab, where these ingredients are created, to the fields where our food is grown, and finally to the supermarket aisles where we make our choices. So let's take a deep dive and explore what these ingredients exactly are and why they might be harmful. Bioengineered ingredients, ever heard of them? They're more common than you may think. Bioengineered ingredients, also known as genetically modified organisms or GMOs, are simply organisms whose genetic material has been altered in a way that does not occur naturally. These alterations are often made to enhance certain characteristics, such as increased yield or resistance to pests and diseases. So how are these bioengineered ingredients used in the food industry? Well, they're quite prevalent. Some of the most common examples include soybeans, corn, canola, and cotton, which have been genetically modified to withstand certain herbicides or to produce their own pesticides. These crops are often used to create ingredients found in a multitude of processed foods, from breakfast cereals to snack bars. But the question that's probably on your mind is, are these bioengineered ingredients safe to eat? The answer isn't as clear-cut as we'd like it to be. While many scientific bodies have deemed them safe for consumption, there is ongoing debate among scientists and researchers. Some studies suggest potential health risks, including allergies and antibiotic resistance, while others have found no significant differences in nutritional content or health impacts between bioengineered and non-bioengineered foods. It's also worth noting that the use of bioengineered ingredients has raised environmental concerns. The widespread planting of these crops has led to an increase in herbicide use, which can harm non-target organisms and lead to the development of herbicide-resistant weeds. As consumers, it's essential to make informed decisions about what we put in our bodies. If you wish to avoid bioengineered ingredients, look for foods labeled non-GMO or organic, as these are less likely to contain them. Now that we've uncovered the truth about bioengineered ingredients, let's move on to our next culprit, glyphosate. Glyphosate, a term that's become increasingly concerning in the world of healthy eating. But why? Let's delve into the realm of glyphosate, a common herbicide that's been making waves in the health and wellness community. Glyphosate is a broad-spectrum, non-selective herbicide, which means it's designed to kill most plants. It's often used in agriculture to control weeds and increase crop yield. It's most commonly associated with genetically modified crops like soy and corn that have been engineered to resist its effects. However, glyphosate doesn't just disappear after it's done its job. It can linger on crops and make its way into your food. And here's where the concern arises. Glyphosate has been linked to a number of potential health risks. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, a part of the World Health Organization, has classified glyphosate as a probable human carcinogen. That means it's suspected to cause cancer in humans. It's also been linked to other health issues such as gut microbiome disruption, which can affect digestion and immune function, and endocrine disruption, which can interfere with your hormones. There's ongoing debate in the scientific community about the level of exposure to glyphosate that's safe for humans. Some argue that the amounts found in food are too small to be harmful, while others believe that even tiny amounts can have significant effects over time. It's also worth noting that it's not just about individual exposure. The widespread use of glyphosate in agriculture can have environmental impacts as well, affecting soil health, biodiversity, and potentially contributing to the development of herbicide-resistant weeds. In the end, the decision of whether to avoid foods that might contain glyphosate is a personal one. It's about weighing up the potential risks and benefits and making the choice that feels right for you. And that's the lowdown on glyphosate. But there's more. Let's tackle high fructose corn syrup next. High fructose corn syrup, a sweetener that's not as sweet for your health as you might think. Let's delve into the world of high fructose corn syrup, or HFCS, a key player in the realm of processed foods and beverages. This sweet ingredient starts its journey as corn. It's milled to produce cornstarch, which is then further processed to yield corn syrup. But here's the twist. Enzymes are added to convert some of the glucose in the syrup to fructose, a sweeter sugar, hence the name high fructose corn syrup. HFCS is a darling of the food industry. Its sweetness blended with its liquid form make it a versatile and cost-effective ingredient. It's found in a vast array of products, from soft drinks to ketchup, from bread to breakfast cereals, and even in some foods you wouldn't expect, like soup or yogurt. But why is this sweetness leaving a sour taste in the mouths of health experts? The answer lies in the way our bodies process fructose. Unlike glucose, which can be broken down by every cell in our body, fructose is primarily metabolized in the liver. Consuming too much fructose can put a strain on the liver, potentially leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Moreover, a multitude of studies indicate a strong correlation between the consumption of HFCS and obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even some cancers. This is partly because fructose doesn't trigger the same feelings of fullness as other types of sugars, leading to overeating and weight gain. Some may argue that sugar is sugar, whether it comes from an apple or a can of soda. But the truth is, the fructose in HFCS is much more concentrated than in fruit, and it lacks the beneficial fiber, vitamins, and minerals found in whole foods. So next time you find yourself reaching for that sugary treat, remember that not all sweetness is created equal. Your body might just thank you for choosing something a little less sweet. And that's the bitter truth about high fructose corn syrup. Ready for our last ingredient? Let's talk about MSG. Monosodium glutamate, or MSG, a flavor enhancer that could be enhancing more than just your food's taste. Let's delve into the world of MSG. At its core, MSG is a sodium salt derived from glutamic acid, a naturally occurring amino acid. It's commonly used in the food industry as a flavor enhancer, adding a savory, umami taste to a wide variety of foods. So where might you encounter MSG? It's often found in processed foods such as canned soups, instant noodles, and snack foods. Restaurants, particularly those serving East Asian cuisine, may also use MSG to boost the flavor of their dishes. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: the potential health effects of MSG. Over the years, MSG has been linked to a range of symptoms, collectively known as MSG symptom complex. These include headaches, flushing, sweating, and a rapid heart rate. However, it's important to note that scientific research on the topic has been inconclusive. While some studies suggest a link between MSG and these symptoms, others find no such connection. The US Food and Drug Administration classifies MSG as a food ingredient that is generally recognized as safe, the same category that includes common ingredients like vinegar and baking powder. That being said, if you've experienced symptoms after consuming food with MSG, it might be worth considering your personal tolerance. Everyone's body is different, and what works for one person may not work for another. To avoid MSG, start by reading food labels carefully. Look out for ingredients like hydrolyzed protein, autolyzed yeast, hydrolyzed vegetable protein, and hydrolyzed plant protein, all of which can indicate the presence of MSG. So is MSG a villain in our food story? The jury is still out. It's a complex issue with no one-size-fits-all answer. The key is to stay educated, listen to your body, and make food choices that align with your personal health goals. And that's the scoop on MSG. But now that we know what to avoid, what should we be eating? So we've talked about what to avoid. But what about the foods that are free from these ingredients? It's time to shift focus to the bounty of natural alternatives available. Choosing organic fruits and vegetables is a great starting point. These are grown without the use of bioengineered seeds or glyphosate. Opt for whole grains over processed ones to sidestep high fructose corn syrup. Quinoa, brown rice, and oats are all excellent choices. Protein sources such as organic meats, poultry, and fish are free from the additives we've discussed. For those leaning towards plant-based diets, lentils, chickpeas, and other legumes are wonderful options. And let's not forget about spices, nature's very own flavor enhancers. From turmeric to thyme, these add a punch of flavor without the need for MSG. Remember, when it comes to your health, it's important to know what's on your plate. Eat wisely, live healthily.